G'day guys, Matt here from Tradie Web Guys and the Site Shed, and I'm coming at you today with something that I've done basically after speaking with a whole bunch of people, trade businesses lately, on the topic of content creation and basically helping yourselves stand out from your competitors. So, as you all know, it's the marketing landscape for trade businesses is pretty damn competitive. And one thing that we see working really well with trade business owners is the ability to, first of all, be able to create useful and relevant content for their audience in a way that can educate and nurture their customers or their potential customers. So they're building trust and rapport, and by doing that, we're being able to re-engage with databases, we're being able to convert better through content that we're creating, through the website, so on and so forth. So this little exercise started as a whiteboard session after I spoke to a not yet client the other day, but I knew it had to be done because it was something that I literally have this conversation week after week. So I thought, I'm just going to record a video on this, and I'm going to save it as a web page, and then I'm going to share it with people who come to us who are interested. So at Tradie Web Guys, we can help with a lot of this. We help with a lot of the strategy behind it. We can help with a lot of the infrastructure, with your website and setting up the right pages on your websites to be duplicated so you can create content. We can help you with content maps and content frameworks on what you can be presenting and what sort of topics and what sort of themes and all that kind of stuff. We can also help on the email side of things. We can set you up with these amazing email nurturing programs which can help you, basically does all the heavy lifting for you. So I'm just going to jump across to a drawing, I suppose, that I've done. Now, let me move myself down here so I'm out of the way. So essentially, we are talking here for the inbound traffic side of things, right? So when you get a lead that comes in through whatever it might be your website, might be the search engines, it could be an introduction from somebody, like for example a strategic partner, whatever it is, they all come in as an inbound lead. And typically speaking, when that happens, we would take that lead and we would either refer them to something relevant on our website, or we would be sending them down to some sort of email sequence where we're starting to educate, nurture, and get them engaged, right? Now, the way that you can get really creative with content creation, and this is the thing, guys, as well, right? You guys are so good at what you do. You're so good at, building, being electricians, being plumbers, whatever it might be, landscape gardeners, so on and so forth. But in all honesty, you guys are terrible at telling your story. And so this really comes back to building trust and rapport and telling your story better, at the crux of it. So there's so many cool things that you can do if you have the infrastructure set up, and we're going to jump into those in a little bit. Blogs on a web page, project galleries, case studies, testimonials, whatever it might be, they're a perfect way for you to educate and nurture your customers, right? So you don't have to, you can create pieces of content that speak to projects that you've completed, and when somebody comes along and asks you for information relating to said service, or if you have ever done anything like this in this sort of location, instead of just telling them you can, and instead of making it up or not making it up, or asking them to take your word for it, you can send them actual proof. Like, there is just no way you can make and fabricate those sort of stories. So it's such an amazing conversion lifter when somebody comes to you and they can say, hey Matt, have you ever done a switchboard upgrade in San Diego, whatever it is? You can turn around and say, yes, I have actually. Here's a couple of links to projects that might relate to what you're talking about. Okay, so it's a fantastic way to get out there, and it's a beautiful way to actually create content. The search engines are looking for you to add content to your website, so this is a perfect opportunity for you to do it. In all honesty, a blog on a trade website, on a tradie's website, is typically there for the purpose of SEO. So the difference with a project gallery is you can actually tell your story a lot better, and it gets a lot better engagement. And we know this because we've tested it. So that moves us down to over here when we're talking educational tutorials. Now, a lot of you guys balk at the thought or the prospect of actually having to speak into a camera. I don't know what. Well, I do know why it is because it's different. But I just want you guys to appreciate this is a fabricated fear. You've made this up. So when you've got a blog, an educational tutorial series put together, it's a fantastic way for you to communicate your skill and expertise, and as a way to position you as the trusted expert in your vertical or in your specific niche or whatever it might be. So the only difference, guys, between you, speaking into the camera on your phone and speaking to a customer directly, is that you're holding something in front of your face when you do it, and if you muck it up, you can remove it, delete it. So once you've got educational tutorials recorded, you can really then put you in a position where you can start leveraging things like social media. You can build out a YouTube channel, which is the second largest search engine on the planet. You can start sharing relevant content to your Facebook profile, your Facebook pages, your Facebook groups if you've got them, some communities that you might be part of on Facebook. You can send it to your Instagram profile pages, You can send it to your LinkedIn profile or your LinkedIn profile, whatever it is. You've got the content. You can do whatever you want with it. And then, importantly, this content can live on your website, and it gives your website basically a centralized location where people can come and they know they're going to get trusted, valuable, useful education. So you can embed a YouTube video onto a web page. You can tell a bit of a story with it. You can have a lead magnet, a call to action. You can have opt-ins and all these kind of things, and it's all in your control, whereas the other things are not in your control. So, fundamentally, having the content created puts you in a position where you can utilize it and you can use it to your advantage. And then, of course, as well, you can start repurposing these videos. So you can say, okay, well, this video got a lot of engagement. Let's go stick it on. Let's create a blog on this topic and embed the video on there and expand on this topic even further as written content. You have the ability to do that. So then we move across to one of the most neglected things that we see, which is your existing customers. And there's this huge churn and burn mentality where people think we need more leads, and it's going to come at the cost of the customers that we've already have and the ones that have already, at some point proven they're a qualified customer by paying us to come and do a job or whatever it might be. Guys, your new leads should never come at the expense of your former. So it's really important that you do have some sort of engagement campaign set up. And if you are proactively creating useful, relevant content for your business, you all of a sudden now have a very useful reason and a very appropriate reason to contact your customers. You can tell them about jobs that you've done. It might be a new technology, it might be a new installation, it might be, it could be anything that they're interested in. But the point being, you have a reason to reach out to them. You have a reason to create that touch point. So email nurturing, engagement, re-engagement, it's unbelievably successful. Like pretty much with every single one of the clients that we've worked with helping them re-engage with their database, they've been booked out for months. And the point of that, I tell you that, guys, so I need you to put into perspective the fact that if you're booked out for months, and if you're, say, currently spending 20 grand, 30 grand, 100 grand, whatever it is a month, or less even, on things like Google AdWords, that means that money can go back into your pocket or back into the business. So you can reinvest that money elsewhere. So that might sound a little bit contradictory coming from a marketing agency guy, but like the truth is, guys, I'd much rather see you invest some of that money back into your database re-engagement than sticking it into Google Ads, because as important as new leads are, it's also really, really valuable for you to be re-engaging and keeping those relationships going with your existing customers. So once you've got those email sequences built out, and they don't have to be complex, and they very rarely are to begin with. They're one of those things that just keeps they grow as the business grows and evolves, and you can create sales. You can have full sales funnels, communication pipelines, deal pipelines. You can do whatever you want with a well built program. But the point is that you got to get the ball rolling. Okay. Also, creating useful content for your, your potential for your partners, things like that. So, okay, well, what can we be sending them that they can send out to their audience, which is going to make them look good and it's going to make us look good at the same time. Same with videos, we can send them some of these awesome videos that we've created, and they can share some of those with their communities. Maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's a whatever. The point being, create useful content. So that's just a little bit of an insight there as to the whole content ecosystem, and I suppose how that is relevant for trade business. Well, to be honest, it's relevant for small business, but because we directly speak, our market is tradespeople. This is something that we commonly see as a bottleneck, which can be avoided. So again, if you need any help with any of these things, if you need help with, oh, my camera just dropped off. Yep, there it is. If you need help with the website primarily, that's that's our jam. That's what we do. If you need help with creating blog templates and project gallery templates, or if you need structure and you need some focus on how to create them properly, it's also what we do. If you need help with creating a content strategy for your educational tutorials, we can help you with that. We can help you with your email marketing software. We can actually deploy for you as your own account a customized dashboard, which includes things like automation follow-ups, which includes sales and deals pipelines, which includes list structure, tagging structures. It's amazing, this piece of software, and if you want more information on that, you just let me know and I can send it out to you, but it's all on our website. So guys, really this is something that, as I say, is very underutilized, and I know if you just put a little bit of effort and a bit of resource into doing this, there is no reason why you really can't pinpoint and position yourself as the expert in this space, but you've just got to get the ball rolling. Because I can tell you one thing, guys, your competitors are not doing this. And so it doesn't take a lot of effort to outdo somebody that's not doing anything. So get moving, guys. I'm Matt, Tradie Web Guys, or the SiteShed podcast. You can head across to tradiewebguys.com.au. If you're not in our Facebook community, jump onto Facebook and search the SiteShed, the private Facebook group. Answer the questions. You'll be let in. There's 6,000 plus global trade business owners in that community, and some awesome conversations that happen in there. So I look forward to hearing your experiences with this, guys. And if you need any help, you know where to get us.